Chapter 327, Do I Look Like a Freeloader? Seventh brother. The girl burst into tears. She got up and threw herself into Song Shi's arms, making a sobbing sound. Song Shi could feel the girl's reliance on him. He sighed and raised his hand to comfort her. He did not say anything. Bai Yuer and Bai Zhaoqin both knew that this should be Song Shi's younger sister, and their hearts ached. Hey Emph, young master's sister is incomparably noble, and yet she's actually being ordered around by a fat woman like you. Bai Yuer coldly harumphed, and a wave of cold air spread out. The fat woman was directly frozen into an ice cube, shattering with a cracking sound. Song Bei, who was sobbing non-stop, was frightened. She calmed down and said with tears streaming down her face, "Seventh brother, something happened to father and third brother." "I know." Song Shi nodded. Bei, did your fourth brother not contact you?" "Yes, fourth brother wants us to go back, but third brother said that Jinzu is too chaotic and doesn't want us to go back. They didn't talk about it after a fight. Third brother is really selfish. He asked you to stay because he wants you to help him support the Li family." When Song Shi heard this, he understood why Song Hu had rejected him. As a son-in-law, his status in the Li family was definitely not high. If he did not have a single relative by his side, he could be bullied as he pleased. Second sister said the same thing. Song Bei replied in a low voice and wiped his tears with his sleeve. But no one would have thought that Jinzu is not safe either. Since half a year ago, there have been people from the demon cult wreaking havoc. From time to time, people have gone missing. In the end, father and the others were also affected. They couldn't be found after last night. At this moment, hurried footsteps approached. A group of guards heard the commotion and came over. When they saw the fragments on the ground, their expressions changed drastically. "How dare you, demon? How dare you cause trouble in the Li residence? Don't you know that I, Master Li, am the master of the Jinzu prefecture?" The leading guard shouted. His voice was like thunder. He deliberately spread it out for others to hear so that he could inform others to deal with this group of unknown demons. Song Shi glanced at Bai Yuer. "Next time, if I don't speak, don't make decisions on your own. Even if you and I can casually wipe out the Li family, there's no need to kill someone just because of a disagreement." "Young master, I was too impulsive." Bai Yuer hurriedly apologized. In her opinion, these humans were just ants. She could kill them if she wanted to, let alone have a reason. However, she also understood that Song Shi was a human after all. He was not someone who killed indiscriminately. Most importantly, she had violated Song Shi's authority and killed him without his permission. Clang, clang, clang. The guards who came over drew their sabers one after another. Genuine ki surged from their bodies. They were all martial artists. The leader of the small group was even at the Khanate realm. From this, one could tell how strong the Li family was. Song Bai's face turned pale as he grabbed Song Shi's arm nervously. "Seventh brother, what should we do?" "They're very powerful. I heard that there's a golden core martial king guarding them." "Golden core?" Song Shi scoffed. Even if a nascent soul cultivator came, he could easily kill them with his current strength, let alone a golden core cultivator. These people were no different from ants in front of him. However, he was not interested in stepping on ants for no reason. He glanced at the guard who had drawn his saber. "Who asked my sister to wash dirty clothes?" "I asked her to wash it." "Why? You ate my Li family's food, used my Li family's things, and owe my Li family. What's the big deal about washing some clothes?" A young woman in luxurious clothes walked over and looked coldly at Song Shi's back. "Are all you Song family members so heartless?" Song Hu provoked a flirtatious fox outside. "It's already good enough that I didn't kill him." Song Shi frowned as resentment surged towards him. "I'm not interested in your matters. Tell me where they went missing." The noble lady placed her hands on her hips. "Why should I tell you? That Song fellow owes my Li family a huge sum of resources and favors. Now that he has provoked that slut, his whereabouts are unknown. If you want to know, return the resources and favors first." Her expression was mocking. "This brat still wants to pay for my Li family's work. I think she won't be able to pay for it even if she washes dirty clothes for the rest of her life. Song Shi glanced at Song Bei. Girl, you're so silly. How can you want to return such a thing? Bei don't know where to go. Moreover, she has her niece, Yaya, to take care of. Bei has nowhere to go. Song Bei pinched the corner of his clothes and said timidly, Niece? Song Shi was stunned. That guy had a child with someone outside? If that was the case, he couldn't blame her for being sarcastic. It was good that she didn't kill him. Bullshit, he wouldn't dare. Song Hu's wife denied Song Shi's guess herself. This surprised Song Shi. Then whose child is this Yaya? Second sister's. Song Bei blinked her big eyes and said, because she took second sister's surname, they asked me to call her niece. Song Shi forgot about this woman. Indeed, she could have gotten married. Second sister and father went to investigate third brother's disappearance and also disappeared. Yaya is still young, and the war outside is chaotic. Bei doesn't have much ability, so she doesn't dare to bring her around. Song Bei looked much more sensible than before. Song Shi's heart ached when he heard that. Bei, you're good. Bai Zhaoqin praised Bei from the side. All right, I understand. Song Shi patted the girl's shoulder. In that case, the Li family was not in the wrong. Bai Yuer was indeed a little ruthless. He turned to look at his wife. She won't work for you anymore. I'll take them away. When she saw Song Shi from the front, her pupils dilated as she revealed a stunned expression. This young master was actually so handsome that she could not take her eyes off him. She sized up Song Shi greedily and liked this handsome young master more and more. She laughed delicately. You're Song Hu's younger brother, right? You're more handsome than your brother. As the saying goes, brothers pay each other's debts. If you're willing to marry into my Li family and marry me, you can forget about what he owes. Her eyes were like limpid autumn waters, constantly moving on Song Shi's body. She was full of smiles, clearly interested in Song Shi. In fact, this was just because Song Shi's cultivation level was high. His body had been cleansed and transformed by the spirit qi over and over again. He could be said to be a peerless, handsome man. Furthermore, he had a connate Dao body and had an otherworldly aura. There were really not many women who did not like him. Song Shi's face darkened. Bullshit, what brother pays his debt? And do I look like a freeloader? The madam pursed her lips and smiled. I can get married to you too. Hey Emph, where did this love-struck fool come from? Are you even worthy of marrying my young master? Bai Yuer's face darkened. You really don't know what's good for you. Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself? You! The woman's face darkened. Who do you think you are? How dare you be so noisy? You want toady? Bai Yuer's thin brows furrowed. Just a trace of her aura was enough to cause the surrounding temperature to drop. The noble lady and the guards felt a chill run down their spines, as if they were in the middle of winter. The most terrifying thing was the bone-chilling cold that penetrated straight into their souls. It terrified them and made them unable to move for a moment. This time, Bai Yuer did not kill anyone casually. She only intimidated the Li family. Song Shi stared at the rich lady coldly. I'm not interested in repaying Song Hu's debt. I'll take Song Bei away. I won't have anything to do with you guys anymore. He took Song Bai's hand. Let's go. Seventh brother, there's still Yaya. Song Bei reminded. You take her too. We're leaving now. Song Shi stopped and let go of his sister. The latter turned around and jogged to a small dilapidated house. Soon, she carried a small cloth bag and walked out with a 2-year-old girl. When Song Shi saw the girl's eyebrows, he felt that they were somewhat familiar. He frowned and asked, "Who's her father?"